about a week ago, a modern Kingsman of the 21st century, a good man, Charlie Kirk, was assassinated.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Charlie.
This is such a hard video to make, I think.
Yeah.
Or a hard topic to discuss because it's so fresh on everyone's minds.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look, everything we talk about, it's in everything. And it's hard to put into words how people are feeling right now.
Yeah. So I was at work when I was sitting in front of a client, and the client said, "Hey, Charlie Kirk just got shot. What are you talking about?" Now, I didn't know that we were talking about the same guy. So, I pull up my phone. I already have a text. I have a message. Oh, my golly.
Mm-hmm. I think we got the same text, actually.
Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. And over the next 2.5, 3 hours, news stories just start hitting.
Everywhere.
Rumors. Dead, alive, hospital. He's making it. He's not making it. Oh, it did. All of it.
Mm-hmm.
By end of day, it was confirmed he had passed.
Yeah. And I think I'm actually not sure where all of the he's in stable condition items were coming from, because if you watch that video, man,
that was brutal.
It could not have been long. Mm-hmm. I actually watched a video from a fella who's a neurosurgeon or something like that, and he's like, it would have been seconds.
Yeah,
seconds. But
yeah. And I don't know, did they just maybe get his heart up and running? But there was nothing. I don't know.
I don't know.
And
either.
all I know is that I pray that for him, it was virtually immediate, that he didn't have to suffer.
I think that's what everyone wishes, and I think, thankfully, a lot of people are saying it probably was nearly immediate.
Yeah.
And, I think, if anything, that's maybe the only thing that we can come out of this and say, at least there's that, But
now, why did it hit us all so weirdly?
Dude, this is something that I think honestly needs to be studied. Like, truthfully researched by professional people. Because I cannot personally ever remember anyone passing. Now, to be fair, I've never had any near loved one pass in my life. I've been blessed in that. But I cannot remember. I've had people that were close to me pass. I can't remember any person in my short life passing that has had nearly as much of an impact on my day-to-day life.
Right.
And I never met the man. I arguably didn't even know his content that well. Like, I knew who he was. I watched his videos. I knew what he did. I listened to parts of his podcast, but like, I didn't know him that well, and I'd never met the man. And yet, it's like, it's always on your mind. It's everywhere you look. Like, you wake up in the morning, and it's crazy that you feel so grieved about someone that you never met.
Right? And who had an impact that is hard to it's hard to describe the impact, because I never met Charlie.
Right.
But saw some of his content, knew people who he knew, like I watched more than people who watched Charlie.
Right.
I didn't watch a lot of Charlie myself. Again, knew his content, but I was focused with other people who'd always spoken so highly of him all the time. And so, like, it's like, well, I may not know Charlie. I watch Tim Pool. Tim Pool is grieving. Well, now I'm grieving with Tim Pool.
Right.
In a different way. I mean, I, again, didn't know Charlie. But the impact that man had on every single life, just absolutely remarkable. Truly remarkable.
I would be curious, 'cause you'll never know, But I could almost make the argument that his death has been the most impactful event by a single human being in the last century.
What I've been hearing it described as close to is an MLK style death. Because that just sparked so much. And arguments are often made about, politicians and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie did not serve public office.
He was not a politician.
No. That's what I think really is extra hitting for a lot of us. Charlie is us. We are all Charlie.
You know what I think? Okay, but I want to expound on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think what it is it's not just that Charlie was one of us, but he was the best of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Charlie was, and I say this because before he passed, his impact in my life was fairly minimal.
Mm-hmm.
But his character was so flawless that he demonstrated what most of us wish we could be.
Yeah.
He was the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
As I heard one person say, he was one of one.
Yeah. And the people who are talking about him now, like the people who knew him, nothing but nice things to say. And which is so wonderful. Like there's no... Everyone is saying nice things about him. And it's all genuine, too.
Yeah.
Which is super wonderful. And this is actually where I think we should really start expanding into, the name of this is The Modern Kingsman.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie had a private life that he kept pretty private.
Yeah.
But what he did in that private life was his foundation for what he did in his public life. At 17, 18, he started TPUSA, Turning Point USA.
Mm-hmm.
Within a handful of years, he's one of the most powerful organizations in the world for getting out, getting youth, and getting the truth out, political and, by proxy or directly, religious. And it's been so wonderful seeing how people are responding in a spiritual way to this. The go to church, we're men, get a wife, have some kids, do good in the world. And one thing I love that Charlie did is he took that and went out with it. It wasn't just, hey, I'm going to focus on my family, which is wonderful. I'm going to focus on myself. That would have been great. That would have been good enough. I'm just going to focus on my family. That would have been good enough. No, people need to hear this. People need to see this. And I'm going to put myself out there. And I'm going to do it every day for years. And boom, Charlie Kirk.
Yep.
TPUSA. President Donald Trump gets elected.
I think what's also really important for people to understand is Charlie stood for a bunch of really, really important and foundationally good principles.
Yes.
But he didn't just stand for them. He lived them out every day.
Yes.
And that's exemplified in the people who knew him. He had a wonderful wife that he cared about. He had kids that he deeply loved. And he was invested in walking out the things that he believed.
Yep.
And not only was it just, hey, I'm a conservative, speaker. He was a politically involved and invested in the well-being of his country, and he walked that out every day. He was a faith-based, Bible-believing Christian who walked that out every day, and he was a grounded family man who cared for the people around him, and he walked that out every day. Not only was he phenomenal in one area, he was exemplary in every area that he was a part of. And and practiced. And I think that's what grieves people probably the most, is they realize, whether they want to admit it or not, that Charlie Kirk was a overwhelmingly good influence in the world, and now the world is missing that influence. That influence is gone now, and we're grieved by that.
Yep. And one thing that has come of this, and Erica's talked about this, Charlie's voice may have stopped from his mouth on that day, but what has been shouted now in a megaphone none of us could have predicted is the fact that Charlie's name is on everyone's lips, and by proxy and as a direct result, the name Jesus Christ is being preached worldwide in stinking downtown on government grounds.
Yep.
Where on earth did that come from? What a blessing. Like a legacy of I serve Jesus and that's it.
Not only that, but imagine the role model that the youth now have. I can't think of anyone that would compare, aside from obviously Christ himself, any other role models more relevant to the youth today. Like, sure, people could list off, founding fathers or, there's plenty of people who could be role models, but this guy now actively demonstrates through his legacy what to strive for.
And what, 31 years old?
Yeah.
31
years old.
Younger than me, older than you. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is my younger brother right there. That is.
And that is arguably in 10 years. Let's just say 10 years, okay? Because from 18 to 21, yes, he was still making an impact, but marginally much, much smaller than the impact he's made in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
In 10 years, 10 sole years, he made more of an impact than most people make in their entire life.
Yep. And he just did it by doing the right thing day after day after day, striving for excellence, lending the hand, being Christ to others, speaking the truth unapologetically, and being brave in the face of true and present danger. And now, so like you were saying, he inspired so many young and old. But now he's gone.
Yep.
So now all of us who, no matter what road you're on, if you're 1 foot further ahead than someone else, you are now there to help them. What I'm seeing is people are banding together. This is the moment that, if Charlie was your only resource you ever had, you just found yourself, I started watching TPUSA, and I still have the Charlie Kirk podcast. Wonderful. Well, that chair is empty now. There's some great fill-ins at the moment, but that chair is empty. This is where you need to reach out to someone else in your community. Find someone online, find someone local, listen to the people who are telling the truth again, and then let's connect in reality to help them out. This is where we cannot lose the community that TPUSA built.
Yeah.
We were at Candlelight Vigil recently. Community was there. And while it was a vigil for Charlie, how many times did the name Jesus get said? How many times?
More than the name Charlie.
Yeah, significantly more. That I was not expecting. No, I was not expecting that. I'm like, okay, we're here to hear a memorial and maybe a story or two about Charlie. Maybe a story, maybe a story and a half about Charlie, but it was almost all repent, for the kingdom of heaven is near. We have a moment. This is our moment. Come to God and get baptized today. Did not see that coming, and it was a beautiful, very sacred moment that I would have never imagined would happen in my town.
Nope. It almost gives you a lack of words.
Yeah. Yeah.
And really, actually, I would say it's daunting in a way. Because now you have a standard of what you could be.
Yeah.
And you know you could be. And I know I've personally been thinking about this myself the past couple days.
Mm-hmm.
It's, well, now what? How am I ever going to live up to the potential that I know is possible?
Mm-hmm.
But deep down, I don't truly believe I can ever accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
How do you take your next step? Like, how do you start down the path of trying to follow that kind of a legacy, which is what he called people to do?
Absolutely.
Is to practice the things that he practiced.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost daunting.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
I love the phrase, if your dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. And while having a goal, a dream, a passion, aiming for a legacy that is so far out there is terrifying, we need to remember the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step.
Mm-hmm.
It might be you're like, I don't know how to live up to that legacy. Well, that's okay. What is the smallest step you're willing to take in that direction? Mm-hmm. It might be, well, I'm not willing to read 10 pages today and put in some good information. Okay, I'm not willing to do it. Are you willing to go get the book? Okay. Maybe you need to lose some weight. All right, I'm not willing to go buy a gym membership and commit to 5 days a week. Okay, that's fine. Are you willing to walk out to your mailbox and back? That's it. Mm-hmm. Start with the smallest possible step that you're willing to do and aim lower and lower and lower until you find the one you're willing to do. Because that one step today is significantly more than 0 steps yesterday. And that's how we do it. So I do some running in my neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And once in a while I'll see a piece of trash. Mm-hmm. And on days where I have pockets, I may pick it up. But I try to think of, all right, so this is one piece of trash. All right, what if every single day, instead of picking up a piece of trash, I dropped a piece of trash? Just one small gum wrapper. Mm-hmm. After a month, that would be 30 pieces of trash just strewn on the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. That's a mess. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, me with one person, people driving up and down, the main road, probably 500, 600 people an hour drive up and down that road. Every one of them would think, oh, that's a lot of trash neighborhood. Really, one person can make that entire neighborhood look like trash with minimal effort. But that goes the opposite too. If we all cleaned it up a little bit, everyone just gave a little bit in on picking up trash or improving themselves one step better, we can get to that legacy. Now, actually, that's the actual day-to-day. Mm-hmm. But the dauntingness, that's not a bad thing. You could almost view it a bit as reverence. Yeah. If we had a goal so worthy of a king, and we were told, a king shows up here and says, hey, I need you to go do this. And we know darn well we do not currently possess the skills to do it. We could crumble, like in the parable of the talents. Mm-hmm. The guy who said, oh, I was afraid to lose it all, so I buried it. Mm-hmm. That wicked servant who was too afraid, who was too afraid of failing than was willing to try, lost everything. Mm-hmm. The other ones, the one who got 1 talent back, didn't say, oh my goodness, I didn't get 3, he must hate me. No. He worked with what he had and did good with it. Mm-hmm. We can only do what we can do. And I think that's one really wonderful thing with Charlie. He did what he could do. But, week 1 of TPUSA did not look like week or year 10 of TPUSA.
Right.
They looked nothing like that. May have still had a fiery guy behind a microphone saying, God wants to help us and we got to save our country. That probably didn't change.
Yeah.
But he probably didn't have the same refinedness to him. He was probably pretty quick-witted, but maybe not at the same level. But we can only do what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And aiming up in our own way. That's what we have to do. Which means Sunday morning, be in church, daily pick up that Bible,
Yep.
and do a handful of push-ups, all right?
Yep. I think if anything, it's made me want to do this podcast even more.
Right.
Than anything.
Mm-hmm.
More than anything, it's made me want to pursue trying to make this podcast successful.
Why?
Because even if, and probably so, we'll never be TPSU. We'll never be, a podcast that's that big. But if we're actively doing something to share good in the world,
Yep.
at least we're doing something.
Yes.
At least we're trying.
Mm-hmm.
And we may not be TPSU or the next Charlie Kirk, but at least we're trying.
Mm-hmm.
And us trying is the legacy of Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
If everyone in the world who was touched or affected by the life and the passing of Charlie Kirk ends up doing nothing about it, then his legacy didn't make the impact that he was trying for.
Right.
And I think that's what's so telling about his legacy, is that so many people around the world already are.
Mm-hmm.
It's why you see churches booked full on Sunday. It's why you see people across the nation and the world showing up to memorials, to vigils, to services. And it's why his content has exploded.
Yeah.
In the last week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I was on his page like 2 days afterwards, and he was already at 11 million followers. I saw a post the other day that said he had 1.5 million before he passed.
Is that right?
That's what it said. I don't know if there's a way to verify that.
Yeah,
It
we
said
gotta check that. Because was it the increase or that? Either way, there's been a jump.
Before he was shot, he had 1.5 million followers. When I was on his page a couple days later, like, I don't think it was the next day, but I think it was the following day, his page was at 11 million followers.
Wow.
That is almost 10x in 2 days.
The reach he had, and now his family, and now TPUSA is absolutely wonderful. And Erica and the whole crew, they have now been given that chair.
Yep.
And what to do with it. And one thing, it's too early to tell because it's been 8 days.
I can only imagine what she's going through.
Right. The true measure of legacy is what happens after you pass. Now we're going to see what all happens these next 5, 10, 15 years. But this was a moment in this country where things will never go back to normal. The standard has shifted. Men and young people feel like we lost a friend. That's how. Now, that's so bizarre. I've never met the man, and I feel like I lost somebody. Why? Because I just knew he was there. I knew he was out there. And
Now
he
he's
felt
doing-
accessible.
Yep.
And that's one thing when you're out there every day, when people hear your voice every day,
Mm-hmm.
they feel like they know you.
Yep.
It's different than a movie star versus a TV star. A movie star is out there. Oh, it'd be really cool to meet him. A TV star is in your home every day with you.
Yep.
Charlie was that. Charlie was in every home who listened to him.
He was
Every
on
day.
every college campus, and every
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, no one wants to be berated that much. That is, I mean, I've had some discussions, but whoo,
it,
impressive stuff.
impressive stuff.
And what a beautiful standard
Yep.
he sets for us here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's bring it in. One of the main reasons for this podcast. We started out one to joke and
Mhm.
shuck and jive.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do that occasionally.
Yep.
But I think as we kept going, it began shifting
Yep.
to, I believe we felt the responsibility that the microphone gives.
Yes. The opportunity
Hmm.
to make a difference.
Yes.
The opportunity to share.
Mm-hmm. We have been very blessed, individually and as buds.
Mm-hmm.
We have an opportunity and a responsibility in 2025 to take some of this, the blessings, and put it out there
Yep.
and say, hey, you having a bad day? Come talk to us. Hey, here's a solution. You don't have to live in despair. You don't have to be hopeless. There is hope. His name is Jesus, and he
Mhm.
can help you, and he's waiting too. We don't care what the situation is. He's going to find a way.
Yep.
Now, the way may not be what you want. It may not be what you think it's going to be. Probably is not. But he is there. He's not going to leave you alone. He is knocking at all times, and we just have to open the door.
Yep.
Be humble enough to do that, and know that once you cross that threshold, once you're over that line, there's hands there to help you.
Mm-hmm.
We are here to all lift each other up. You're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we are often alone.
Often. Too often.
Mm-hmm. But not in this situation.
Yep.
There's a handful of people on my phone I can call at 3 a.m. and they'll pick up. That's a very, very, very small number of people.
Yep.
But guys need that.
Mm-hmm.
If we're supposed to have the weight of our family on our shoulders, weight of us on our shoulders, weight of the world on our shoulders, that's not an item you can do alone. Charlie did not do it alone. Just look at who's surrounding his family.
Mm-hmm.
Political figures, non-political figures, the entire world virtually is on Team Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
He did not do it alone.
Yep.
In his private life, he had to do things sometimes alone. Naturally, we all do.
Mm-hmm.
But he built a team around him. And that is one of the things we are going to help young men to do,
Mm-hmm.
is build the team around them, regardless of their age. We
Yep.
can help you do that. Because there's sometimes where you need a guy to say, hey, you can do it. And other times, you need to hear him say, hey, cut it out, do your dang job. And we can help people find, build, and what it looks like on the day-to-day of that. So that way they're not alone. We're not alone.
Yep.